That's Dani Larkin singing a song from her new album, Next of Kin, a collection of traditional Irish tunes and originals, one that she calls a culmination of 3 years' work. We found Dani at home in Belfast, a rarity for someone who spends so much time touring.
Well, usually I'm on the road, so actually most of my January has been at home, and that's between Belfast, Derry, Donegal, and Monaghan. So, but I think if I'm on the island of Ireland, that's home, you know.
That's home. Okay. Very good. And you've been down to this part of the world. I think you toured Australia at some point,
I
didn't you?
did in 2023, so I would have loved to have made it over to New Zealand, but hopefully next time, hopefully with
Yeah.
this record, Marty.
Yep. That would be nice. That would be cool. All right. And I see that you just released To Be Enough as a single, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, you've done your homework. Well done.
Well, it's not that hard.
Well, it's always nice, when people listen ahead of time. But yeah, it's the last single off the record. You know, To Be Enough is a really one of the most personal songs on the record. Um, it's really about overcoming that sense of fear and self doubt. So it comes from a very personal place, and that's why I wanted to share it, or why I wanted it to be the last single before the record comes out.
Is it enough to wanna hold you? Is it enough to say I love you? Is it enough to be enough? Is it enough to be true?
Do you sit the team of advisors and plan all this stuff out, or is it all just you sitting in front of your computer having a think?
I mean, I definitely ask what other people think, and
Right.
I'm fortunate to be working with a team of people, and I'm fortunate that those people also understand and respect that those kind of creative decisions are mine to make, So, um,
Right.
it definitely was a toss up between to be enough and another tune, but To Be Enough just made
Oh,
it in there. So,
very cool. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds very angelic. I like the backing vocals. Is that you overdubbed, or is that somebody else singing
it
with you?
is me actually. When I had written the song before, those backing vocals weren't in there, and then I went into the studio with my co-producer Ruth Mahoney Brady, who's worked with the Frames and Sam Smith and Gorillaz and
Right.
Lisa O'Neill, and
Yeah.
we were just doing different vocal takes, and I started to sing that backing vocal, and I was like, oh wow, can we explore this a bit more? And she was like, this is the part that will make the song, So yeah, it's a really nice experience. I had a lot of fun recording that.
Good. 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 So your previous album came out way back in 2021. Does it seem like ancient history at this point, or have you moved?
It's funny, my concept of time, Marty, isn't great at the best of times. They all kind of,
Right.
they all,
Wait till you get older, and it gets even worse. I can remember things I did 50 years ago easier than I could do 50 minutes ago. So it's very
I
strange.
mean, I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I'm already there in lots of ways, but in many ways, it feels like lifetimes ago. But it also feels just like yesterday. I mean, for me, Notes was the record that kind of put me on the map in terms of being a touring artist, and uh, all of the incredible things that came with that, and gave me the breath and the space to collaborate and to write and to commit myself to that full time. And now I've collaborated with the Ulster Orchestra and the RT Orchestra, and I've released 4 bodies of work. Next of Kin will be the 5th, and I have my own studio. So I mean, I think Notes for Maiden Warrior for me will always be the beginning of me stepping into myself as an artist. So
Yep.
um and I'm excited for people to hear Next of Kin, so
Yes. So what kind of discussions did you have with your producer, with yourself, with your friends about how you wanted this record to sound as opposed to the previous one?
yeah, it's funny with Notes, I really wanted it to feel like when people put the record on that I was in the room singing to them almost. That was kind of
Right.
the, and even before I get into the studio, that was kind of the world that I was most comfortable in or knew how to communicate in. And with this record, with Next of Kin, when people put the record on, I really wanted to feel like they're in the room with me, like they're in my studio. Um, and that kind of then informed all of the production and all of the choices. So it's that kind of key. It's not like I set out with one key idea at the beginning, but quite quickly it becomes very clear as a body of work starts to grow and you start to demo it, um, what direction you might want to go in. And that's not necessarily genre, but more about feeling or experience. And um, I hope people get that when they put the record on.
Well, it sounds more orchestral than the previous one
Mm,
for
yeah, that's a
want
big
of a
change,
better
isn't
word.
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, I think this is what could you say? Maybe full bells and whistles in terms of a record of it really. I really want people to be immersed in my sound landscape, as it were. So, in that sense, even from the first aspect of the record, which is an inhale, which is breath, on the
Right.
arrangement of Morning Has Broken. Um, which I didn't know was actually written in 1931, but that's the first, that's part of my sound landscape and my sound world. And it's an invitation into that and how that moves from darkness, that moment where it's darkest just before the dawn. And that's kind of the breadth of the record is it begins in that moment of kind of darkness and into the morning light. And um, with that you have synths and orchestras and
Yep.
Irish traditional repertoire. It's all in there.
Right. Now, I think I read somewhere or saw somewhere that you'd been playing the trumpet quite a bit. Is there much trumpet on the record?
There's a
I
little
don't
bit
remember
of.
hearing much.
It's funny. No one's ever asked me that before or noticed. There's a little bit of trumpet. There's actually a little bit more trombone. My granddad was a trombone player, but I have to chuckle
Ah.
because I've actually long since left the trumpet behind. Well, I certainly don't
Oh
play every
no.
day. And yesterday
Right.
I just bought a 1960s Fender Music Master bass. So that'll be.
Oh, there you go. So there must be something because I am a former trumpet player. But I had to stop because I got hit in the mouth with a baseball when I was like 11,
Mm.
and then I moved to the bass to play punk rock. So I'm wondering if there's like a connection between bass players and trumpet players.
I mean, it's a wonderful trajectory, and I'd never picked up a bass before, and I was just in the shop that's quite close to me actually, um, and something just clicked, and then for 3 nights I dreamt I was playing this bass. So, listen to Next of Kin, enjoy it. You might get a bass and a
Okay.
trumpet album next. Who knows, Marty?
Nice one. All right, that sounds cool. I got to ask you about "She Moved Through the Fair" because
Mm.
you've made quite an impressive video that goes along with it, and there's a field recording, and there's all sorts of stories. It sounds like behind it. So, what can you tell me about it?
It will not be long till our wedding day. She stepped away from me and she moved through the fair.
Well, first of all, the visual is a collaboration with an aerial artist from Belfast here. He's called Christopher Macaulay. And it was a complete chance meeting with him. And then I saw his work, and I asked him if I could use his work, to kind of convey a different message of the song. And he was really up for that. And that, it's so beautiful. I must go back and watch it. It's been a little while actually. Um, and I think for me, She Moved Through the Fire is such an iconic song in Irish traditional repertoire. Um, the only reason it's on the record is because somebody phoned me up one day and asked me to audition for a film, and they wanted me to play banjo and a traditional track. Um,
All
and
right.
I was listening to the work of Margaret Barry at the time, and then within about 6 or 7 minutes, this version spilled out. So it's a really happy accident. But then as I kind of dug a bit deeper with the song, quite often people leave out the third verse when they sing it because it's quite a lengthy song. And the third verse, really delves into the aspect of the protagonist. Well, it's a married couple, and kind of the protagonist as leaving the relationship and choosing to end their own life. And you know that just isn't something I didn't even know that about the song, and I've heard it sung
Right.
hundreds of thousands of times. And so for me that was really important to build into that sense of lament and almost the darker side of Irish traditional folk and repertoire and tradition, that's on our psyche as well. Um, so a little bit of that, but I think the thing for me was She Moved Through the Fair. When I went in to record it with Ruth, I was going through my archives and came across a field recording from my time in Palestine. It's just me walking through the souk, walking through the market in Nablus in the West Bank. And when I heard it, I just knew that was how the song was supposed to be. And that's, I'd taken that recording at least 5 or 6 years before I'd even heard of Margaret Barry, let alone really that version of She Moved Through the Fair. And I suppose all of those aspects seemed to come together at the time I was in the studio. And for me, it's really powerful and important kind of not to shy away from all of those aspects. Um, and again, maybe testament, to that concept of darkest before the dawn. She Moved Through the Fair is probably a very melancholic point of the record before we move into a different kind of exploration of grief and joy, So I hope that answers your question.
I believe it did. And it leads me to another one, which is what brought you to the Middle East? Why did you spend time there?
Yeah, in a former life, I used to work as a conflict transformation facilitator. So I actually, all in
What does that
music.
mean?
So
Sounds complicated and
I
dangerous
mean, I
even.
think it's as complicated as being a musician. Uh, all in music. So, I'm from the north of Ireland,
Right.
and kind of trained in using music as a tool to, I suppose, connect with people, which I think fundamentally is what all music is about in some shape or form. And so I spent some time in Palestine. I spent some time in Indonesia, in Colombia, in Venezuela. Um,
Ooh, so all the hot spots.
well, one could argue Belfast was a hotspot once upon a time.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely. No argument there. I remember seeing it in the headlines all the time.
yeah, and I think that's an interesting maybe point to make as well. Of I'm from the border in Ireland, so I grew up kind of I went to school in the north, but kind of in between both worlds, which is why the kind of collaboration with the Ulster Orchestra is called Between Worlds, and that's the first blend of my work in a kind of maybe previously was predominantly folk and then folk orchestra with the Between Worlds collaboration, and then that kind of leads into Next of Kin as well. So there's a nice thread there.
All right. Now you have a song called David on the record. It's about right in the middle of the record. I'm just wondering who David is.
Now that is the $1,000,000 question, Marty. Okay, I'll tell you.
He knows all the passwords and codes, so I gotta meet this guy.
David, when he gets here, you'll have all the passwords and the codes. And David, when he gets here, you'll just know how to soothe the soul. And David, when he gets here, oh, he'll know. He'll know.
Honestly, and this is maybe a testament to the kind of my cheekier side or the more mischievous side of things. David was just the man that came to fix the internet in my house during COVID one time.
Right.
And I was sitting upstairs and I was writing a song. I don't even know if his name was David. But the song, he arrived at the door to fix the internet. It was lockdown, so internet was very all consuming. and it maybe hadn't been
Sure.
working for 3 or 4 days, and all of a sudden this apparent angel in David, or maybe his name was something else, arrived, and hence David was born and is on the record. So yeah, it's a fun song. I really like singing it.
Yeah. We all need a David. I got a guy down the street who comes, he makes house calls, and he just does everything. It's amazing. He always knows what to do. It's a great. You got to have somebody like
It's
that.
a great skill set to have.
Yep. Are you technically oriented, or do you
I think
do
there
you like
was a
fiddling around with gadgets and
yeah.
things?
I think there was maybe a time where I felt like I was ahead of technology. That time has long since
Right.
passed. But I get by, I think I get by, and of course I kind of use I have a studio that I work in as well, right? So you kind of there
Sure.
has to be a certain level of plugging things in and turning them on,
Yep. Yes. Well, it seems like these days the only thing you can do if something doesn't work is just turn it off and turn it on again anyway, which is what happened to me this morning. I got up really early when I emailed you at first, and the internet it was like 4 a.m. here, and because Friday is a very busy day here, and then I'm typing away, writing away, listening away, and then everything stopped, and it's 4:30 in the morning. There's nobody in the house. It's just me. Nobody touched anything, and nothing worked, and it's like, why? And I'm unplugging everything and plugging it back in, and then like an hour later, it all started up again for no reason.
It's magic, that's all I can say. I have no explanation.
It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so the record's going to be out on the 30th. What do you got planned? I see you got an in-store thingy happening the day before. What
Yeah,
else you got?
actually, I'm really excited about that. If anybody listening knows anyone in Belfast or throughout the island of Ireland or even across the water in England, send them my way. I'm doing my first ever listening party in Belfast on the 29th of January. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's a really different format. It'll be the first time people get to hear the record in full and also before it's out.
Yep.
So that's kind of a very new thing. And it's a different way to kind of ask people to listen, and it's asking people to really pay attention for the guts of 2 hours. So I'm looking forward to that, and it'll be a physical record player. Like, I love records, so
good.
that'll be quite nice. So we go one side and have a chat and do the other side, and then on the 30th of January I'm down in Dublin doing an in-store in Spindizzy. On the 31st I'm in Cork and Limerick. On the 3rd I'm back up north in Bangor, and then on the 4th I'm in Rough Trade in London. I'll also be in Glasgow on the 27th of January doing an in-store, so or doing a full show of the record. So and then I have a full headline tour in Ireland and the UK in March and April. And then it might not be too long before I'm on your side of the world, but to be confirmed.
All right, sounds good. So I'm wondering, how do you feel about being in a room with a bunch of people listening to your record in front of you for the first time? Is it a bit nerve-wracking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel nervous now. Maybe I should.
Sorry about that.
No,
Don't think about it.
I think I'm just really excited. This record means so much to me, Marty. It really, really does. And, it's the culmination of 3 years' work. And I just can't wait for people to hear it. And that's just the main thing that I'm excited about. And kind of the rest will take care of itself,
Right. And when you play out, do people tend to come to you at the merch desk and tell you all about how they feel and what your music does to them and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always so wonderful because, when I'm not on the road, probably like most musicians, you're kind of working in your studio, you're working in your house or wherever, and it's quite solitary. And then you make something and you put it out into the world, and then you're on tour, and all of a sudden people are so moved and transformed and want to share all of that with you on the merch desk. And that's a really cool thing. It's a real chance for connection with people in a world that moves otherwise quite quickly.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I'll let you get going and continue on with your day. Hopefully we'll see you in this part of the world at some point throughout the year. But Yeah. Oh, and something's just popped up on my screen. That was a big picture of Donald Trump. That was scary.
That is scary, but not surprising. Not surprising.
No, I know he's everywhere. That's why I moved to New Zealand. But anyway,
Well,
very good.
I hopefully he disappears from the screen.
Yes.
And
Yep.
yeah, it'd be lovely to see you soon. I'll let you know when I'm on your side of the world.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.